Hey everyone, it's Cailin here. Thanks so much for visiting my channel. Today we're going to be kicking off a 5-day introduction to Pilates series. Each day we're going to be working a different area of the body, and we're also going to be talking through, during the exercises, the fundamentals and principles of Pilates as well. We're going to be starting with finding your core today, finding your center, and then all of the future exercises are going to come from that important principle. So personally, I'm a mom of 2 young kids, and I own a small business at this Pilates studio here. And I can assure you, I understand that life can get pretty nutty. I sometimes don't have the opportunity or even the energy to do the full hour workouts that I used to do. So even though I own a studio that has Pilates equipment in it, I can barely find the time to fit in workouts on the equipment in between my own teaching that I do here. So I find that I work out where it's accessible and easy for me to get my body moving, and that is often at home in the morning or sometime during the day, where I can find a little sliver of time for myself to get myself moving and just feeling better. So really the mat is where it's at. It requires nothing but you and your mat. It's easily accessible and you can do it from absolutely anywhere. So if my situation sounds anything like yours, I've got you covered. I've realized that 10 to 20 minute workouts are so effective when I focus on proper form and proper alignment. My whole body feels worked and energized, and I'm ready to either start my day or find that little break in the day for myself. But either way, I find that little sliver of time just for me to move my body. I urge you to try this 5-day Intro to Pilates series so you can try it for yourself. So let's get started with day 1. So day 1 is all about finding your core, your center here. And in Pilates, you may have heard this called the powerhouse, and that's because we find a lot of our power from our core. So we're gonna figure out today how to activate this so that when we move forward in our other exercises, we're feeling nice and strong as we start to expand everything. So let's start on our back first. So you are going to be in a supine position. So you're gonna come all the way down here, okay? So your knees are gonna be bent, your feet are on the floor. And we're first gonna start, I'm just gonna mention neutral spine here. So you are gonna have the back of your head pressing into the mat, as well as the back of your ribs and the back of your pelvis. So those 3 anchor points are always gonna be down into the mat there. And then you have the back of your lower back is just slightly pulling off the mat. That's your lumbar spine. And then also your cervical spine right here behind your neck. Okay, so that is your neutral spine position. And when it comes to neutral pelvis, so a good way to think of that is that you want to imagine you have this cup of coffee here right on your pelvis, right in the center. And that if you were to kind of tip it towards you, you'd be spilling your coffee, or if you arch your back, you'd be spilling it down. So we always want to make sure we have that nice flat surface here on our pelvis for our cup of coffee. So that's a good way to remember that as well. All right, so in our neutral spine, I want you to bring your hands onto your rib cage and just relax your shoulders here down onto your back. I want you to take 3 deep breaths, expanding your breath into your hands. So I want you to take an inhale in and exhale. Let the ribs relax and come together as you let all that air out. Good, so inhale, expanding your ribs into your hands. And exhale as we bring it all back to center. So do that a couple more times. And as you're expanding, you're breathing front to side and back to back in your rib cage. And then exhale. Let all that out. Let's do one more like that. Deep breath in, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. All right, so now I want you to think about putting your fingers, your 2 fingers here, onto the inside of the bony parts of your pelvis there. So this is called the transverse abdominis muscle. And you imagine it, we call it like the seatbelt muscle. So you imagine that that seatbelt strap that comes right around here. Imagine that is your transverse abdominis, okay? So I want you to do that same breathing exercise where you take a deep breath in into your rib cage. And then on the exhale, I want you to imagine that you're pulling your belly button down towards your spine and engaging through that seatbelt muscle. So we'll do that again. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, you just should feel an ever so tightening across the muscle underneath your fingers there. And we'll do that again. Deep breath in, inhale. And exhale. Imagine like a corset is coming really tight around your whole body here. Let's do one more. Inhale in. And exhale. Letting all that air out. And you're doing that without changing the shape of your spine or your pelvis. You're not moving your pelvis here. It's important to be able to find that engagement without finding it by moving your spine, okay? So as you can see there, we focused a lot on the breath at first, and that is one of the big principles of Pilates is the breath. So we wanna make sure you keep moving that inhale and exhale in and out as we move. All right, so now let's challenge that neutral pelvis and neutral spine. Bring your arms down by your sides. And we're gonna do an exercise called marching. So I want you to take your inhale here, and then on your exhale, you're gonna bring that right leg to tabletop, and then inhale as you place it back down. And then exhale, other leg comes up to tabletop. Good. Inhale as you place that one down. And then exhale, lift right leg. So this is our marching exercise. And if it helps to bring your hands here onto your pelvis, you're trying to, again, make sure that you're not shifting that pelvis side to side. But here we are finding that leg that can move very easily in that hip joint without moving that spine and that pelvis as well. So really important here to find that stability. Good, one more each side for your marching. Good, last one. Awesome. All right, now we're gonna take that up another level. I want you to bring your arms by your side. Draw those legs into tabletop. So here in tabletop, we have our knees over your hips, and we still have that neutral spine position. So if you feel that your ribs are popping off, I really want you to think of keeping them down, pulling them down towards the mat. And we're gonna do toe taps, which are similar to marching, in that you draw your right toe down on the inhale, and then exhale, bring it back to tabletop. And then we do left toe down, exhale, lift. Good, so you're keeping that moving, again, with control. There's a difference between, if you look at me here and I see my back is arching, this is not what I want here. I want to make sure you're pulling this all down and in. That's going to keep that rib to hip connection that we're looking for in Pilates. Yeah. Now, if this is hard for you to keep, if your head feels like it's really reaching back towards the mat, I want you to lift it up and put a towel here underneath your head, a small towel rolled up, and that'll provide some extra support. Good. Let's do one more on the other side. All right. Now we're going to take that to the next level where we're going to reach both toes down to the floor together. This is definitely more challenging. So on your inhale, you're going to start to reach those legs away. If they don't reach the floor, that's okay. I only want you to go so far that your back isn't arching off the mat, and then exhale to bring them back up. Inhale, reach them away. Keep those knees bent. Exhale, lift. I don't know if you guys can see here, but I'm actually shaking right now as my legs reach away. and lift. And that's where that proper alignment and form comes in. When you're doing it right, you're gonna start to feel that body shaking. Even in an exercise that seems pretty simple. Let's do one more. Inhale, tap, and exhale, lift. Perfect. Pull those knees in towards your chest here. And then go ahead and bring those feet to the floor. We're gonna find our ab curl. So arms are gonna come up towards the ceiling. And we're gonna keep that pelvis in that neutral position. And we're gonna find a little bit of a lift in our upper body, finding a little bit more work here in our abdominals. So you're gonna take your inhale here. On your exhale, you're gonna come up to a little ab curl just to the tips of your shoulders. So you're really moving from the rib cage here, trying to keep that pelvis in neutral. And then we lower back down. And then we exhale, lift, and inhale, lower. So moving again with that breath. And this ab curl is important as we continue to move on. You really want to get this positioning right without feeling any strain in the neck and the shoulders, because we're going to use this quite a bit in the future videos. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Good, and lower. All right, last thing we're gonna do here, we're gonna add our hundreds. So we're gonna keep our feet on the mat, and we are going to find the correct upper body positioning for hundreds. So you're gonna come back into that ab curl position, okay? And you're gonna hold yourself up there. So you're gonna take your inhale, and you're gonna exhale as you lift the head, neck, and chest. Reach those fingers long here. So really reach them away from you. Now draw your shoulders down. And you're gonna start to pump those long arms as you inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So keep it moving. This is your Pilates 100. This gets your circulation going, gets your heart rate up, and it continues to warm up those abdominals. Good. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is too much. Feel free to bring your upper body down towards the floor, and maybe then bring your legs into tabletop and do it from here. Good. Wherever you're at, continue here as we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you imagine you're pressing down with the backs of the arms, nice and strong. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna pull that belly button in towards your spine on the exhale. We have one more set. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then lower it all the way down. Pull those knees again in towards your chest. Beautiful. And then go ahead and bring your feet back to the mat. So the next thing we're gonna do is our bridging. So this takes us in and out of that neutral position to find some nice spinal mobility, spinal articulation. This is a really, another key point and another principle in Pilates is that we're trying to always get this nice flowing movement in our spine. A lot of people tend to be very rigid in their spines. So we always are trying to get that flexion, extension, and side bending, all kinds of movements in our spine here, as long as that's healthy for you and your body. So setting yourself up back with your feet on the mat, arms down by your sides, and you're in a parallel stance with your legs. You're in this neutral spine. You're gonna take your inhale here, and on your exhale, you're gonna find first just what we call a pelvic tuck. As you flatten your low back into the mat, you're gonna lift the bottom of your pelvis off the mat, and imagine you're pulling your low back into the floor. And then you inhale, release. And then exhale. Imagine you're pulling your belly button down towards the floor. And then inhale, release. And we'll do that a few more times. Exhale. And inhale, lengthen. Last 2. Good, last 1. It should feel really nice on your low back and your lumbar spine. Now we're gonna continue that motion as we roll all the way up into bridge. So walking your feet a little bit closer to your body, take your inhale. On your exhale, start to tuck that tailbone under. Then you're gonna roll off one vertebrae at a time. That's that mobility part as you peel up into bridge. Eventually you're in this beautiful line from your shoulders to your knees. Take your inhale here. Exhale, roll it back down. This time think upper back comes down first. Mid back, low back, and then your pelvis. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, let's do that again. Roll it up. Keep these legs in parallel, knees reaching forward, all four corners of your feet pressing down. Inhale here at the top and exhale as you lower. Let's do two more like that. Inhale. Exhale, roll it up. Spinal articulation. Inhale at the top. And exhale, bring it back down to that neutral position, making sure your pelvis releases. Good, last one, I want you to stay up here, lifted in your in your bridge position. Arms are pressing down into the mat. We're gonna do marching here, just like we did on our backs. So keep that pelvis nice and level, and we're gonna draw your right leg to tabletop. Place it down, switch to your other side. Left leg comes to tabletop. Good, and bring it down. And right. Good, and down and left. So this is challenging because once you start to switch legs, your pelvis definitely wants to shift here. So you're trying to find that stability in your core, in your center, to keep that pelvis nice and stable. Good, let's do one more each side. Good, last one. Good, bring both feet to the mat, even your hips off if they're not there already, and then reverse it as you come all the way down. That should just feel really, really nice there. All right, we're gonna roll up to a seated position and then come into all fours. So you're gonna be on your hands and knees. And we're gonna find that neutral spine here first, okay? So shoulders are gonna be over the wrists and your knees are under your hips. And now you wanna imagine that you have the floor behind you so that you're in that neutral spine. So what that means, again, is that back of your head, back of your rib cage, back of your pelvis are all in that line. And then your lower back is just ever so slightly arching here. All right, so once you've done that, I want you to keep yourself, your upper body pressing away from the floor. And then I want you to inhale. It's probably gonna be hard to see my belly here, but I want you to let your belly drop towards the floor without letting your back dump down. So I want you to inhale as you let your belly drop, just let your muscles go. And then exhale, really pull your low belly up into your back here, yep. And then you're gonna inhale as you let the belly go. I'm giving you permission to just let it all out. And then exhale, I want you to pull the belly in and up towards the spine without rounding your back. You should feel this nice engagement in that seatbelt muscle there. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, let it out. Good, and exhale, pull it in and up. Last one, inhale. And exhale. So this may seem like really simple exercises, but I promise you this is gonna help you as we continue on in the next days ahead. So you're gonna tuck your toes under now, still staying in this all fours position. And you're going to take your exhale, pull the belly in, keep your neutral spine, and then lift your knees, just float them just an inch off the mat. And hold here, pull everything into your center for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower those knees down. If you felt any pain or discomfort in your lower back, really make sure you're engaging through those lower abdominals. So we're gonna do that again. Take your inhale. Exhale, pull that belly in towards your spine, then lift the knees. Good, hold here and float for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good, you've got one more just like that. Shoulders down and engage towards the ribs. On your exhale, pull that belly in first. Lift the knees, hold and float here. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, lower everything all the way down. Nice job. All right, we're gonna continue now. We've got a few more exercises. So we're gonna do our seated half rollbacks here. All right, so this is where we're gonna find a little bit more flexion in our spine and what we call a C curve. So in each Pilates workout that we do, not as much with these shorter workouts, but with the longer full body workouts, we're trying to get our spine into all these different positions. So this is gonna be that flexion, that nice rounding of our spine here, okay? We're gonna do a little extension in just a minute. So hands are gonna come behind your thighs. You're gonna pull your shoulders down and back as you lift tall through your spine here. You're gonna take your inhale, and then on your exhale, you're gonna roll it onto the back of your sitting bones, pull your belly in, start to tuck that tailbone under, and find a C curve in your spine. You should see from the crown of my head all the way to my pelvis is in a beautiful C curve. Good, take an inhale here, and then exhale, scoop the belly back as you round forward. Inhale, lift up nice and tall. And then exhale, tuck that tailbone under, pull the belly back, straighten the arms. If you don't need the support of the legs, you can always bring your hands off. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, scoop and lift. We're gonna do a few more like that. Exhale, breathing out. That's where that breath comes in, right? Keep it moving. Inhale here, and exhale. Good, 2 more. Deep breath into the rib cage here. Exhale, that opposition of pulling the belly back as your upper body comes forward, and we lift up. We've got 1 more. Really feeling those deep abdominal muscles here. Good job. Take an inhale and exhale. Good, coming all the way back up. All right. We're gonna move this into just a little teaser position. We're gonna have a little fun with this today. So we've got our abs all warmed up. And I want you to stay where you are in the seated position. You're gonna start to rock back onto your sitting bones. Find that deep abdominal connection, and then start to bring these legs into tabletop here, okay? Now you're gonna reach those arms out if you can. If not, go ahead and keep holding behind your legs. I want you to take your inhale, wide collarbone, wide chest, but connection in your lower back. Take an inhale. On your exhale, you're gonna start to roll down. When you do that, I want you to bring your feet to the mat, and you're gonna bring yourself all the way down. I want you to inhale, bring those arms back behind you now. Keep those ribs pulling down. Exhale, you're gonna sweep the arms up. And then as you come up to that beautiful tall spine, you can bring those legs back to tabletop here. Good, take your inhale here. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Exhale, scoop the belly back. Good, draw those legs towards the floor as you bring your upper body all the way down. Inhale, arms lift back. Exhale, chin to chest, roll it up. Coming back to that tabletop here. Good, now either stay with that version or try this next one if you're ready for a little more. Keep the legs in the tabletop position here as you roll down all the way. This is more challenging. Make it nice and slow. Inhale here, arms lift back. And then exhale, chin to chest. Last one as we roll it all the way up. Beautiful heart and chest lifting at the top. And then we lower the legs all the way down. Come over your legs here. Just give your legs a little bit of a hug as you round through that lower back. All right. Last thing we're gonna do is a little swan or a baby cobra. So we're gonna one thing, a lot of times we think about core as being just here, right? Our abs, front of our body, everybody wants that 6-pack, right? Well, it's a lot more than that. And just so you know, the six-pack isn't as important as you probably think it is. So we're trying to find that stability all the way wrapped around, all the way in this area, front and back and sides. All of this is our powerhouse here, okay? Not just this. So now we're gonna work a little bit more on that back body, getting into that core on the back side, okay? So I want you to flip over onto your mat here. This is where we're gonna find that extension. So as we're on the floor, you're gonna bring your legs about hip distance apart, and you're laying all the way down so your forehead is on the mat. Now your hands here are right under your shoulders, and your forehead is on the floor. Now I really want you to reach those legs out and away, reaching them long, and you're activating and engaging through the legs. Now slide your shoulders down your back. You're connecting them to your ribs. That's part of your powerhouse here. You're really finding this deep connection of shoulders to ribs and ribs towards pelvis, okay? Pull your belly button off the floor, imagining there's an egg underneath your belly button and you don't want to crack it. Good, now you're feeling all your goodies here all ready for you to start to lift up. So you're gonna start to press into your hands on your inhale. Keep your elbows close to your sides as you lift up. Just do a little baby cobra. It doesn't have to be high, right? Just keep those elbows pulling towards your sides, shoulders down, and then exhale, lower back down. We're gonna do that again. Inhale, press into the hands, lift it up, and exhale, lower it down. Just 2 more like that. Good, setting up first, belly pulling in, lengthening up that lower back first, and then we press into the hands, shoulders down. So no turtleneck here. This is what tends to happen as people are up here. Really slide those shoulders down, extend through your neck, and lower. Good, last one, pressing into the hands, lengthen the lower back, lift it up. Beautiful, and exhale. Bring it all the way down. All right, come onto your knees, sink yourself back into a child's pose, reaching those arms nice and long. So that cobra position is working more into that extension of our spine, which is really beautiful to engage the backside of our center, the backside of our core, and also to help with our posture and our alignment here. It helps to work that back body so that we don't have that kind of forward posture that we all tend to get working in front of our computers and on our phones. So really important not to forget about the backside here, okay? And so that finishes day 1 of finding your core, finding your center. This is, again, a lot of the foundations of what you're gonna wanna be able to nail down before moving on to the bigger work, bigger exercises that we'll start doing in the next days ahead. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you did, and also subscribe to my channel. I also have other videos on my channel, such as Pilates for pain relief and other general Pilates workouts and Pilates for kids. So my kids join me in those workouts. So much fun, a great thing to do for your whole family to get yourself moving together. So with that, congratulations on finishing today. I hope you will join me for days 2 through 5 as well. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.